Okay, let's wait for a few people to join. Good morning. Sorry I'm late this morning. Well, I don't need to apologise, but sorry I'm late, guys. Look at pound yen today. Yeah, this is going to be a potential area of issue over here on GJ, but we're going to come to that because it's the last day of the weekly candle here. Weekly's come all the way down. Maybe we're going to close maybe somewhere up over here at this point. Monthly almost coming back. Yeah, see, monthly needs to close above 150-400 to make it easier for the new monthly candle to also continue moving bullish. Weekly, yeah, we'll break it down in a sec. Let's wait for a few more people to join. Gold. I think gold can start coming bearish again. We just got to break down below 1722. Yeah, once you break down below 1722, gold is coming down to 1680 again. If this weekly can close bearish, then I see next week also continuing to move down on gold. I think we can revisit this 1680 area. Okay, let's wait a few more minutes for a few more people to join. Good morning. We will wait for a few more people to join and then we will okay. Yeah, a few more people to join and then we will start breaking things down. Right, let's get this. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon to you. Okay. Let's wait till we got a few more people. Got only a few at the minute. Let's wait for a few more people and then we will break things down. In fact, I'll give it another couple of minutes and then we'll start to break things down for the session. Oh. Right, I think, sorry, Trills, I've got to sort you out on the database, so let me do that now. I'm going to do that right now. All good, H. I hope your dog. Yeah, I don't think she is gonna be, mate. She's pretty old now. She's I'm not even gonna lie. She's on her last legs in it. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Yeah, she's very very old. So yeah, she's not in a good state at the sec. Okay. Trills or Mo, I've sorted you out to the database now, mate. So it's all sorted out for you. Okay, good morning. What do you think about AUD USD? Okay, I did say on Fridays I don't mind checking out other pairs, so we'll check out AUD USD for you. But I'll do that first then. Gives us a couple minutes to sort out what's going on. So AUD USD. So I mean, looks like the daily on this pair seems as though it's tapped into a support over here to the left hand side, kind of like moving up at this point. I think maybe you could see price moving up to do this wick fill here to the left hand side and then potentially come up to this previous level of support. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, so if this 4 hour candle is trying to basically break above this resistance that you have here on AUD USD. Right, so it's trying to break above that area. So if you start to see like a minor support being formed, then there's a probability that we could probably come up and fill this wick right over here. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, so we had this like area over here to the left hand side. We've basically closed above that. We're trying to create some support, but we do have a resistance right over here. So I think, yeah, let's measure this range over here. So if we break above this area, there's not really enough range at this point. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. Yeah, I think the best situation here for AUD USD is gonna be buys above this area here, because then if you get buys above here, then you have these clean candles coming up, and then you could see AUD USD coming up to, let's say, 0.6550. I think that would be a good idea, because at the moment it's created a support over here in pre-London, kind of like wick down, and now it's trying to create some further support. Looking on the 15-minute, yeah, I don't think there's enough range on this kind of pair here. No, there's not really enough range. So I think the best situation is going to be this area here. Let's measure this range. This is like it's a 25 pip range. That's pretty good. So I think that's going to be a good situation. You could argue if this 30-minute candle closes bullish, you can get price coming up to that resistance there, which is like 9.5, 10 pips away, but it's probably not going to be enough range, to be honest. I think that's going to be a better range there. So this is going to be probably your range there, Mohammed. 25 pips there, and then obviously for sells, right, if we break below this support and the 4 hour starts to reject this overall range, then first of all you could see price coming down to here. Measure this range. It's like a not really a big range, 9 pips, but then after that you can see price coming back to the next support, which would be around 14 pips. So that's probably a better range to trade there on AUD USD. And then obviously if we break down further below that, then you can see it coming down to the bottom of the 4-hour level, which would give you, that would give you a 20 pip range. So that's probably a good range there as well. Okay, so that's AUD USD. Ooh, pound yen. Nice little fake out there on the 15-minute time frame. 1 hour candle basically grabbing liquidity at this point. So yeah, I was just about to say, like when we were breaking down GJ, let's start with the 4-hour here. So 4-hour basically broke the low of the previous 4-hour candle. It's now moving up at this point. So I think based on the 4-hour, I mean, we could see price coming up to, let's say, around 150, 600 could be a good target for buys. Let's look on the 1 hour time frame. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, yeah, I think we could reach this resistance over here that we have. Right, this resistance around, yeah, 156, 155.80, something like that. We're at this current area here, so we basically had some rejections over there. So let's take a look on the 30-minute time frame. So yeah, we basically had some rejection over here of this previous level. Right over here. So we basically rejected this area, previous level of support. So I think this is going to be a good range, to be honest, because if we break above this area, then we have a clean candle to the left hand side. It's like 18, 17, 18 pips. So I think that's going to be a good target for pound yen buys over there. Looking on the 5-minute, yeah, it looks good. I think we have to wait to see how the 1 hour candle closes and the 30-minute candle, because it's going to be very difficult to try and get an entry. Let's change that. And then yeah, so basically we just reacted off of this 30-minute support over there. We basically did a little fake out on the 15-minute time frame, and then next one wicked up, started breaking the highs to continue bullish. So yeah, GJ is what it is. So yeah, this is your range now, and I think buys above there would make sense. And then once we break above there, I think at that point we can see, yeah, probably like this area right over here being retested. But let's say we do reject this area again and we start to break down below 150, 200, then I would say, okay, yeah, we're gonna probably come down to this area right over here. So let's measure this range. This is gonna be like a 13, 14 pip range. That's still pretty good. Okay, now gold. Let's start with the 4 hour. So looking at the 4 hour, because we looked at the daily. Daily has more of a bearish bias, right? But 4 hour, we basically need to break below this support right over here. We've got a lot of wick rejections here, so we basically need to break below this support for gold to continue moving down. And then we have this clean range on the 4 hour time frame. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, we basically keep faking out of these zones here, but we have this like deeper level of support around this area here. Clearly based on the 1 hour, we can see how multiple attempts to break down below. A lot of liquidity grabs there, but it's failure to break that support. And we can see right now that obviously we're creating a resistance basically right over here on the 1 hour time frame. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, yeah, it seems like we have this support over here as well. Seems like we basically had a resistance right to the left hand side here. This candle closed above that resistance 6 AM, and we basically broke the high, and we basically closed back in the range at this point. So I think sells are going to be below 26,500 on gold, because then we have this clean range down to at least 1724, right? That's going to be a target there for sells. That would make the most sense. And then, you know, if we basically break above this resistance here now that's been created, then I mean we have a clean range for a little bit, not really an amazing range. Let's take a look at how big this range is. It's like a 17 pip range. Yeah, it's okay, not really that big for gold. And then, you know, break above here, I think we could then start to see some further upside, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be better to look for some form of a sell below this minor support over here, below this support area, and then you can see price coming down to the next level of support at that point. So pound yen is breaking up at this moment. So there we go. Potential rejection over here, but I think the statement candle will come up to fill this range. So then, what does everyone think about? What does everybody think about the fact that the government just got passed a further extension of lockdown rules for another 6 months? That's just crazy. No problem, no problem. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No idea what you're talking about, mate. Oh, you're talking about the, what I just said about the restrictions? Yeah, man, that's true. They got it passed. But, why are we putting up with that lockdown? Mate, I have no idea. This is it. This is what I'm saying, right? Right, what did we get? Well, I mean, we've been fed lies the whole time, but I'm not going to go into that. But what I do want to say is, you know, what did they speak about? They said, oh, come June 21st, we're going to have all of our freedoms back, and he's extended it till September. Why? Come on, guys. I mean, people are so thick, man. I mean, I'm not talking to you personally. I'm just saying people are so thick because, you know, they're there going, oh no, it's coming to an end now, we're coming out of this now. I'm like, no we're not, no we're not. They extended the furlough, right? Every time they extend the furlough, that basically means that they're going to extend the lockdown. And yeah, now he's saying, now he's got more powers right up until September. And do you know how many MPs voted against? The only MPs that deserve their pay right now, 76 to 400. Let me look it up. Where was it? No, the was it Thursday, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that's just all bollocks. Oh, I can't find it, but yeah, I saw that yesterday. Hello John. Can you explain why most of them trade GJ than GU? I don't know. I think I don't know. It's a good question. But I mean, me personally, I prefer GJ. I find GJ a lot easier to understand, and GU is okay. It's still good, but yeah, that's it. Really, can't really. I'm not sure. I can't speak for other people, I suppose. But yeah, people need to work. Yeah, exactly, man. People. I mean, you know, they're fully denying you the right to provide for your family. You know, we got 3 or 4 million people in this country that aren't subject to the furlough scheme. You know, nightclubs weren't subject to the furlough scheme to start with. You know, they've really messed this up. They really have. What's the point of the vaccine? Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? You know, I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. You know, if you've come to the streams for long enough, you know that I criticize, you know, a lot of the decisions made, and rightly so, because there's a lot on the line here, and everyone's just focusing on COVID, but nothing other than that. And I mean, you know, they've never ever gone about this with any other virus or anything else, and actually there's been way worse viruses that they've completely, you know, I mean, if you guys really knew some of the facts, it's quite it's actually quite scary, to be honest. I'm not talking about facts about COVID, like, oh yeah, whatever, but I'm talking about facts like just things that they're not telling you, things that, you know, they want to really keep low key, you know, like that type of thing. Come to Australia, mate. Living down here free. For now. Oh, don't. You're making me jealous. I could have sworn that there was some form of lockdown, or there's some form of something going on in Australia, like, because I see there's anti-lockdown protests in Australia and Victoria or something. I swear they're not allowing anyone into the country though. That I swear, till like 2024 or some crazy thing, but I might be wrong. That's what I was reading anyway, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, you're from Thailand. Oh, nice. May have to go back to UK soon. Oh, I don't know. I won't bother. Well, obviously you can do what you want, but there's nothing here to do. You know, I mean, I can't believe this, right? I can't believe. See, this is how thick people are, right? Hear this. So last year, obviously, you know, when the cases dropped and all that, they said basically, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna give you you guys a couple months in the summer, you know, whatever. I believe that was all just to give us a little bit of freedom to take it away again. And basically, yeah, they let everybody on holiday then without vaccines, and there was COVID was at its worst apparently. But now, when COVID in our country is the lowest it's been, you know, we've got the vaccine, half the adult population have been vaccinated, and now they make holidays illegal. I mean, have they lost the plot or something? Oh, I can't believe. And now with this new bill they're trying to bring in, they're basically trying to stop all protests, basically. So, I mean, it makes no sense, right? We're supposed to be coming out and they're trying to get more powers. Really? Really? So that's that one. What's the bias here? Wait for support above 153.89. I think if you've, yeah, I think it's gonna have to be wait for like a further support or something like that at this point. Yeah, gonna have to wait for like a little bit of a pullback here. Maybe let price make a high and then wait for a retracement. Is going to be pretty good, because if we create some support above like 150, 400, 30-minute candle, 15-minute candle, whatever, then we can either push up to here, or, you know, once we've reached here and we pull back, then we can see further upside than that. Something similar to yesterday, right? Strongly advised not to come back, mate. Zombie population and nothing open. Yeah. I think it's worse than zombie. I think they're like, I think we just have a sheep population. Honestly, people don't want to know, like, people just crazy, absolutely crazy. Oh, gold's coming below that area. Let's take a look at the 15-minute candle. If gold can make a little minor resistance over here and then can close below this area, then you can see the next 30-minute candle continuing bearish on gold. Yeah, if we can get a nice minor resistance over here, it'd be pretty nice to take a sell. We're gonna wait for probably wait for the close below that area first, and then we'll see price coming down. Right, looks like GJ's tapped that target over there. So at this point, you gotta let GJ make a high. Go let it make a high and let it retrace. Yeah, it's gonna come up and do that wick fill there. I think to catch the buys was basically over here. To catch this move up was basically somewhere over here. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think a break of that high would have made sense. Because basically that's when that 5-minute candle closed like it did. Creating a higher level of support, head back up to fill the range. Did I take a buy for G? No. I didn't take a buy. I don't think I'll be trading today. I'm not trading today, to be honest. Gold is pushing below 17.26. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we just looked at that. Yeah, I think first of all we're gonna need a candle to close below that area. Yeah, gonna need the 15-minute candle to close below that area there. So we'll see. We got around like 7 minutes left. So if this 15-minute candle can close below, and then let's say we go on the 5-minute and you can get like a little minor resistance, I think that'll be very nice to see price continue moving bearish. GJ, yeah, GJ's moving up. I don't take trade inside Asian range. I wait for a breakout. That's pretty good. That's fine. If you don't trade within the range, that's still good. Still pretty good. Right, I've just got to shoot off for like literally 2 minutes. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Just gonna go grab a drink quick because I am thirsty as hell. But we'll leave it on gold because I'm waiting to see if this 15-minute candle will close below 17.26. So let's put for gold, I think good sells below 17.26, 500. Right, there we go. Bear with me. I'll be back in 1 minute. Ooh, 15-minute candle closed above the range. Let's take a look on the 5-minute. Yeah, very difficult situation right now. Gonna need to see a candle closing below that area. 15-minute candle also tapped up into that area, pulled back a bit. Mr. Kelsey.
Yeah, man.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Good.
I mean, yeah, I got out quite a good point.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got out in a very good point.
Because yeah, like the idea actually didn't really work out, even though I had enough now.
Yeah, I think it was a good. Where did you get in on the break of that high?
So like, I got on a bit later than 5 AM and I saw the 4 hour how it closed, and we were pretty much sitting around where we opened.
Yeah.
So I was like, can base it off that then. So pretty much, yeah. I got 10 pips, but I didn't secure anything, and then I closed half at the start, and I looked back a few minutes later and I was like, that looks like a rejection if we close like that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm not even going to bother on a Friday because I'm not up for the week anyway. So
yeah.
I was only sitting around break even, so I thought, don't be taking a loss.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing, to be honest, because it ended up pulling back to the Asian lows again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to message you and say, looking back, we could have pulled back to that.
Yeah.
After what we said about yesterday.
Yeah. See, this situation here though, this was a lot more tricky, right? Because if you look at it from a 15-minute perspective, obviously that makes sense. It had previous support, closed back in the range, basically wicked up. Now I was looking at it, I was like, I can see the 5-minute candle, which would have been the entry, which is this one over here, because basically at that point, we had. So this was your 15-minute wick here. So your 15-minute candle had closed at that point. Now obviously you can see, like, basically via structure, you know, that we have these like smaller resistances. Now we have a new resistance. So once this candle basically closed as it was, it basically created a higher level of support on the 5 and compared to here. So then you would expect basically to push through these zones and then come back up to your Asian high or whatever. So you could have taken it on the break, but even on the close here with stops below there, you would have got to there basically at that point, and then runners beyond that level. But I mean, yeah, today's wasn't the like easiest to spot, but that was the entry and the move based on the smaller time frames, 100%. But yeah, it pulled all the way back to Asian session low. Did this thing that it always likes to do: close below, next one closes back above, and then clean back up to the highs.
So the reason why I took it on the 4 hours, like
No, I agree. I was looking at the 4 hour.
We got above the open where we is it open the start of the week.
Yeah, there was that aspect.
I was just worried about it. Like I said to you, like if we make a wick down and break the low for like liquidity, then I can get stopped out.
Yeah. So I think basically so this wick, right, it basically reacted to this mid-range area here. So it basically tapped into this level here, right, and then decided to basically start rejecting that area like that. So, but where it closed at this area here. So we had that initial reaction to this level, pulled back, created support, came back up, and then now we have the volume to clean that range. So it basically feels like a lot of the time, pre-London, if it's moving up like this, it's gonna pull back, right? But if let's say for example that this is pre-London, so pre-London trending down, and then just before, I don't know, like 7 AM or whatever, then we form support. Then it's like, okay, well, we have pre-London high, so we're gonna look to retest pre-London high, you know. But because we had no high made in the session, we were just moving up. There's that pullback that tends to happen quite a bit. So I think GJ, if it can break above this area, then we can continue moving up to like 150-700, but I was not expecting us to get there. Gold, what's gold doing? Oh, gold is trying to come back below 1726,500. Just take a look. I think we're gonna need to see this 5-minute candle closing below this area. Okay, so the 5-minute candle closed below that minor area. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. It's got 9 minutes left. See, if the next 5-minute candle can wick up first and then start breaking this low, that would be pretty good for gold to continue to bearish. Yeah, because then you could have... So, I mean, yeah, see, it's breaking the low pretty early on. That's not the best situation. I would want to see a top wick being created first. And then once it starts maybe coming down to break its own low, you could like execute a sell there. Target would be down over here, and then your stop would need to be above this area there. That would be the gold move there, because we basically closed below this minor support here. 15-minute candle just needs to basically stay below this area. It's either that, you know, once the top wick's probably been best to be created, right? If it starts pushing down like this now, what you may find is that it will do something like that and end up closing bullish. And then what you would then need to see is a further bearish candle confirmation, right? Whereas what's going to be better is for it to wick up first and then come back down to start breaking the lows, right? That would be a good situation. If it starts doing what it was doing a minute ago, then that's not the best situation, because then it can do what it's doing right now, which is start basically flipping back bullish at that point. But this is going to be the target for gold sells right over there. Okay, nice. So it's retracing quite fairly good here. I think kind of like this area here will be good. And then if we can start to see that rejection style candle, that would be pretty good to then start looking to take a sell. But the idea has been discussed. See how the 15-minute candle. Yeah, we've got like 7 minutes left. 30-minute candle, 1 hour candle. And let's say this 5-minute candle closes bullish. Let's say it closes bullish like this. Then what you would want to do is, like I say, you want to see either a further bearish candle confirmation, right? And then that should be the 15-minute candle closure. Or what you want to do is then wait for the next one to start breaking the low, or even the lows here, to then continue moving bearish. There we go. It's made a top wick at this point. It's now breaking its own low and the lows right over here. I think this 5-minute candle should start to push down at this point. But this is gold, remember, so can do anything. But it should be good to start continue. Oh, look at that, man. Gold is just crazy. That is like anxiety city, isn't it? Imagine like that, it just goes, you know, hits 10 pips and then pulls back before you can even close it. That's gold for you, man. Right, we're coming to last 5-minute candle. So, I mean, yeah, as long as this candle can basically close bearish, then it should be good. Last 40 seconds or so, but that was wild. Did anyone see that? It dropped like 5-6 pips and then just mad. That's why gold is just, yeah, a bit scary there. What's pound yen doing? Pound yen's trying to reach the second target over there. Okay, how is this gold 5-minute gonna close? Got like 10 seconds left to close. If it closes bearish, that's pretty good thing. If it closes like a weak bearish, oh no, it's closing good. That's a pretty good close with the 5-minute candle. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. Yeah, it's down to the last 5-minute candle at this point. So basically, if this 5-minute candle starts breaking this low over here, then we're coming down. We're coming down at that point on gold. There you go. It's starting to break the low over here. Oh, see what I mean, man? See, I could not deal with that, I don't think. Did anyone just watch that? That's a madness.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, see, if GJ moved like that, I just don't know. I just don't know about that one. Come on, gold. Yeah, I think we're just having some problems at this minor support, but we should break it now. Because we've broken the 15-minute candle low. We've got volume. We should start to pump bearish at this point. Here we go. Here goes gold. So let's say your entry was somewhere over here. Then you can start looking to go break even around 17.25. Would make the most sense. Basically, once we get below this area here to the left-hand side. Man, this is a... How does that make sense? Man, the 1 minute must be going crazy. I wouldn't even want to look at the 1 minute on gold. I must be going absolutely wild. Look at the 4-hour real quick on gold. Yeah, see this 4-hour candle? It closed below this like support that we have within the range. So I think even like trying to hold further long gold sells would be pretty good, because this 4-hour candle has basically made its top wick at this point. So we should see this 4-hour candle fill this range over here. Would make sense. I just think we're having some problems over here with the smaller time frames. But based on the 4-hour, I mean, it looks good for the 4-hour candle to basically continue moving bearish at this point. We've got like 45 minutes left. See, basically what that means is this 1-hour candle needs to get shifting. Because it broke the low of the previous 1-hour candle. It's now retracing a bit. Oh, look at gold, man. Yeah, very difficult. Looks like it's having some problems here to left hand side. You would have thought with London open volume it would start to break down, but it's having some problems over there. Okay, so I think you have to wait for this 15-minute candle to close, then see if it can close below at that point. Because if it can't, then I mean we're basically still rejecting this area. Gold is a heartbreaker, man. Pound yen. Well, pound yen is rejecting this area. See how the 15-minute candle closes. If it can close below 17.26, 750, that's gonna be pretty good. I think then you'll see the next 15-minute candle continue down. If not, then yeah, gold sells are just out of the water. But yeah, see, if I was in gold sells, you'd have to be managing the trade right now. Yeah, because it's creating a support over here. But we're still in a downtrend, right? There's no doubt about that. But Ooh, 15-minute candle close back in the range. Yeah, that is not a good situation for gold. Close back in the range, starting to reject this lower end. But gold will do something crazy, like it will keep rejecting and then one candle will just basically fill it. Like it does some crazy things sometimes. Ooh, pound yen closed above that area. Think GJ is gonna reach 15700 over here. Right, let's leave it with gold for the minute. Right, I'm just gonna run to the toilet real quick and we'll be back in like 2 minutes. Right, sorry about that, guys. What's pound yen doing? Oh my god, GJ's off. Pound yen is off. Yeah, we should reach 150, 850 today. And if we break above 150, 850, then I mean we're coming all the way up to 151, 120. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, see, this is where we're probably gonna come into some issues. Oh, we corrected that whole down move now on a Thursday and a Friday. Crazy. What's the weekly looking like now? Weekly's basically creating a support over here now. Daily also correcting that down move up. Mad. Oh, Kelsey, someone said, hey Kelsey, did you get in any buys on GJ today? Yeah, I think he had buys, somewhere over here around 150, where was it? I think it was somewhere over here in pre-London, and then I think it pushed up into profits, and then he went break even and stopped him out basically. Yeah, I think he had the right idea. It just was, you know, sometimes in pre-London it's gonna pull back after making a high. So, but yeah, he took that trade. Yeah, gold now, gold as well, like completely ranging at this point. Yeah, it just rejected that area. So I think I need to wait for a solid close below that support at this point now with gold. Yeah, just did not want to continue down at that point. Right, sorry guys, we will be doing some analysis here in a minute. I've got a little bit of a, well, I don't care, I'll be honest. So my dog's really not well. I've got to keeping an eye on her. Right. Okay, we're gonna do some breakdowns in a minute. So does anyone remember I said, you know, Fridays I don't really mind looking at other pairs. If anyone wants to look at other pairs, we were looking at AUD USD. Oh, AUD USD is still ranging over here. I think that's because it's probably going to need to wait for MY session for volume with AUD USD. Someone else to look at that one. Yeah, probably going to want to wait for MY session for volume. Otherwise, not going to make much sense. Right. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, let's leave it on pound yen for a minute. I just got replied to an email, and then we'll get some questions. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to go through, if you want me to break down any pairs, just literally give me 2 minutes and we will do that. We'll go through some pairs. If you guys want to go through it, I can break it down. It's a Friday, chill day. I'm not trading today, so happy to go through it. Okay. Could you break down GA for me? Yes. Yes. Let's break down GA. GBP AUD. Let's take a look. Okay, so looking at the daily, looks like daily's broken above these this resistance here to left hand side. I mean, I think you're looking at potentially, you know, some form of a support to be forming in here to maybe give the confirmation that, you know, we can continue moving up. Looking at the 4 hour, I think the best thing to do is going to be to wait to see how this 4 hour candle closes, right? I think basically a good buy looking at this situation here is going to be above this 4 hour wick, right? Because then, you know, you're looking at, okay, are we going to continue moving up to like retest the high, which is going to be like 35 pip range. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, we are creating a support. So we had this like area to left hand side. Looks like we're closing back above that. So I think there's definitely a bullish bias over here on GA. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, I think looking at the 30-minute time frame, we had a resistance over here, and this candle closed above that resistance, right? But at the same time, seems like, yeah, it's a little bit of a tough situation. I think you're going to need a further support to form to say, you know, potential buys. Because the other situation is, if we start to create resistance, then technically, you know, we're like respecting this downtrend at the moment. So I think maybe wait for this as a pullback situation, wait for support to form, and then take a buy is going to be better for price to continue moving up. Looks like we have this like minor resistance here on the 15-minute time frame. So I think this is going to be a pretty good range. This is going to be like an 18 pip range on GA. I think that's a good range. Let's take a look at that. So I think that's going to be a good range. I think for sells, are going to be somewhere back below like 1.80600. I think that's going to be a good or a better opportunity to take a sell. That's going to give you like a 17, 18 pip, potentially 21 pip range. But I think the best situation here is to wait for a retracement, maybe on like the 30-minute time frame, and then wait for support to form to look for a buy. So the bias is bullish. You know, the 4 hour candle, if it closes bullish, then I think you can see, you know, the next one maybe coming up. However, if it's going to correct that move down, let's take a look at maybe like the weekly. Yeah, it's coming into a bit of a problem zone, isn't it? Potentially. So you got to think to yourself, okay, really, you know, what's the safest option? The safest option is to, you know, not maybe wait for a buy above the highs, because it may not have the volume to continue, but it may have the volume to basically, you know, at least come up to this area, or, you know, a little bit something like that. So I think let's take a look on the 5 minute for a sec. So 5 minute time frame, yeah, looks like it's respecting bullish uptrend. Yeah, I think you could wait for a support to form at this point. I think this 15-minute candle is not going to be enough. It's a bit of a weak candle. So I think a nice, healthy, strong bullish candle, maybe on the 30-minute or the 15-minute, would make the most sense. Or, you know, you can wait for maybe a break above this minor resistance, and then, yeah, I think at that point, if you could take a real nice buy for like 18 pip, that should be a really nice buy. If you get a bearish candle close like that, and then you get a bullish candle close, you know, where we do something like this, I don't know, maybe like, you know, we do that, right, little wick to the top, little down wick, right? That's a good situation, because then, you know, the next ones should respect the low and then continue pushing up, right? And then that's where you want to be taking your trade above that area potentially. Or, you know, let's say for example, it's going to be a couple of situations. You're going to see something like that, or you're going to see something like this, where, you know, you get basically you get the full retracement down, you get another bearish candle come down. See, this is where some people are going to look at this like, you know, we've made a low, and they're looking for resistance to retest the low, and that's where it can be a little bit conflicting. You know, that's where it can be a little bit conflicting. But looking at the 4 hour, if it closes bullish, you're probably going to see a bottom wick down, right? Remember that. So let's think about that. That on the 30-minute may be the bottom wick of the 4 hour. So it may seem like we want to come down, retest this low, when actually we're basically just going to, you know, like create a rejection maybe over here to then start coming back up. So you've got to think to yourself, what do you want to take? Do you want to take based on this like structure here, that you have a resistance to retest the low, or are you waiting for support to form to retest this high? Because basically since London session, right, we've been moving bullish, right, since the London Open on GA. So plus if you look at the 4 hour, we're above resistance right now. Daily is also above resistance, so it makes sense to look for buys. What would make sense to look for sells, like I say, would probably be below this resistance, because then I would make sense of, okay, it makes sense to take a sell to retest the low. But apart from that, it makes only sense to, you know, look for a potential support to form to retest the high. But yeah, you'll have to just wait and see. If this 30-minute candle closes weak bearish in, you know, 30 minutes time, then you can maybe, I'm just saying, just look for an impulse entry. You know, I'm not going to recommend taking an impulse entry. I'm always going to say wait for the candle to close. However, if you feel like there's some form of a strong support being formed in here, then, you know, you're looking to push up to here and then, you know, further on at that point, basically. But it depends how the candle closes, I suppose. Right, let's go back to GJ anyway. So I think on pound yen, let's take a look. So let's look on the 5 minute, see how we could have identified this move here to start up. So first of all, we spoke about the move down over here at the bottom. So everyone, if you want to pay attention, we're going to look at the pound yen move up from this point over here, right? How you could have caught this move. I don't want to trade it today. You know what? I wanted to accept. You know, I made some few mistakes this week. I want to just write this week off and just have a fresh week next week. That's how I want to go forward. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought today, just sit back, relax, you know, do some analysis, break down some things. Don't, you know, trading is, you know, no rush. So if we take a look over here, so basically, I think if you were looking for some form of a buy, it was around maybe like 5:30 a.m. I think was a good time to maybe take a buy based on this candles here, right? So you had that, obviously, that first initial push there. I think after that, obviously, most of the time there's going to be a pullback, price pullback. We pull back to support. We had basically this candle basically closed below the support here to the left hand side. So when I see that, and I'm like, because the bias is bullish overall, does it make sense to take a sell at that point right away? In my eyes, probably not. I'd rather wait to see like a further bearish candle confirmation here to tell me that we're creating a resistance, right? That's what I would want to see for me to then take a sell. Yeah, what would I want to see for me to take a buy? Well, think about it. Well, what happened over here? I think this is gonna, if people want to listen, this is gonna be really important concept. So if we look at this support overall, actually looking at it now, even myself right now, what can I conclude about this area? Well, even looking at it from a 5 minute, we can see how we had a support over here, and basically we had a little fake out here on the 5 minute, right, for the continuation of trend. Now, what that basically means is it tapped into this area and then pulled back into this range. We can clearly identify that. You can clearly see this was support, and we had this situation here to close back in the range to establish further support to continue the trend up. You can see that pretty simple. So what happened here? Well, we had price come down, we tapped into this area right over here, clearly see that, and basically we had this 5 minute candle close bullish. So what would you need to see there to say, well, price is going to continue down? Well, more than likely you want to see a bearish candle, right? But obviously then you had this candle closing back above resistance. Then what did we have? A little bit of a pullback, but we're still closing above that area now. And then once we had that strong bullish candle at support, it was fairly evident at that point that the next candle should start pushing back up to retest the highs. So that's just from a 5 minute perspective, right? Just from a 5 minute perspective. Now, what do we want to look at with a 15 minute perspective? 15 minute perspective, you can clearly see that the 15 minute candle, we closed back above this area. Right, you can clearly see we closed back above support. Now, what if you didn't want to accept that, just in case, you know, we started to do this? Right, we get a bearish candle close. What would anyone say in that situation? Well, more than likely, you know, the safest option is maybe to even wait for a break above the highs. You know, that's going to give you a decent risk to reward as long as you maintain, you know, a good risk management. Then, you know, you could maybe close partials here and then let a runner run, and that's going to be your profit for the session. Now, taking a trade like that, I knew that that was going to work, but I said to myself, I wasn't trading today, so that's it. I'm staying disciplined. I'm happy to miss the move. It feels better to just sit back and not feel obliged to take a trade. So right now, let's say you execute a buy somewhere over here and you close 50% at like 14 pips. That's pretty good, right? Now, if your runner's running, look how much we moved today. We moved 60 pips. Now, I don't know if you want to trail it on the 30-minute. You know, that could make sense. Sorry, the 15-minute time frame. You could even trail it on the 30-minute and say, okay, well, I'm going to bring, instead of having stops at break even over here, I'm going to bag myself 20 pips, 21 pips in profit on my other 50%. Doing it that way would still allow you to maintain a 2-to-1 risk reward, right? And then also maintaining potentially a good move up further on. You know, you could say, if you start to see your rejections, well, let's take a look on the 5-minute. Okay, yeah, you have a bearish candle there, but effectively you don't have maybe like a 15-minute closing against you. We're respecting the lows on the 15-minute. Are we breaking lows on the 30-minute? No. So do you need to potentially, what's the term, like, do you need to potentially close it early because you see one 5-minute candle when it hasn't broken the low on the 15? You know, so those are things to consider. But basically, your buys was somewhere over here. This is a really important thing. Your buys was somewhere over here, right? Because basically what we're saying is close back in the range, support being formed on the lower time frame there. We had the same situation over here. That's now support. Stops would remain below this level. Your target would be there, and then runners to your overall target. Now, most people, what are they going to do? Where are they going to look for the buy? Well, somewhere over here, right? Because, you know, you're expecting price to break the high, because this is only the range, right? We're basically closing back in the range. But the good situation about that is that you have an opportunity to play to the top of the range, and then, you know, just finish your trade there, right? There's no obligation to then say, okay, well, this is just a minimum, I want to swing my whole position to there, because we may reject here and then start to range. That's how the range is created within a session. We see that happen a lot of times on London session. So what does that mean? You can guarantee yourself this move up to here a lot more times than, let's say, down over there. Yeah, so I think that's important. Right. Anyway, just a little breakdown for you guys there. Anyone in the Zoom got any questions about anything? Come on, guys, it's a Friday. You know, if you want to talk about anything, Salim, Kelsey, anyone, you know, this is an important time to get questions out of the way and discuss things, look at things, talk about things, whatever you want to do. You know, you can see where the volume's coming in. Hang Yen is just coming, it's just continuing now. Right, let's take a look. Right, so we talk about that GU moving up. Don't look at GU, but if you ask, that's up to you. Any reason why you did not trade GBP JPY? Yeah, I discussed why I didn't trade GBP JPY. I didn't particularly want to take a trade today. So the 4-hour candle basically, okay, so looking at the 4-hour time frame, we basically tapped into that resistance, and now we are created a wick at this point to potentially fill. So we got to take a look over here. So 1-hour candle's pulling back bearish on GJ, potentially not making a lower high. So pretty much it's a simple factor, isn't it? Wait for support. Wait for support to form. You know, if this is going to be a rejection style candle on the 5 minute, you might see an initial push down to this lower level, but what's going to be the safer option? It's always going to be wait for support. This could be an area where we reject. This could be an area where we reject. Looking on the 15 minute, we have clean candles, so we may break through that levels. 30 minute also, so where's the most likely place we want a retracement to? 150-400. And if we can get a solid support form there, it always makes sense to take a buy. See, at this point, this is kind of like gone. You know, what's more important right now is, you know, potential levels on the smaller time frames. So even if we're looking at the 5 minute, you know, these are potential areas that we can start to form some form of a support. You know, so you're just paying attention to that. Looking on the 15 minute is probably the likely area, maybe somewhere over here. And then the 30 minute time frame, this would be the ideal area to see some form of support formed. Like a retest, right? Maybe over here as well, because this is an important level. So you just gotta wait and see. Gold is just ranging at this point. Gold is just ranging. Good. Right, anyway, is everyone happy with that breakdown? Okay, let's, oh, we got one from Mo. Is it, do you mind me calling you Mo? Is that right? Okay, so Mo, this week no support has been created after a break. I basically lost all my trades this week waiting for support to be created. I think there's been a couple of opportunities this week. Let's go through. Okay, so for example, yesterday's trade, let's talk about maybe NY session, right? Is it Mo, is it just London session that you trade, or do you look at NY as well? Because in the NY session, this is something that I saw later on. I was out at the time, but this is something that worked yesterday, where price made a high basically around 149.670 area, pulled back, and it formed a solid support there, and you had an easy 15 pip push there for, you know, it's slightly, yeah, about a 1-to-1, but you know, in terms of runners and stuff to the wick fills, it did reach that without getting stopped out break even. So I think that was pretty good. You know, potentially you could have got a couple of entries in at that point for price to continue up basically, but that was your A setup there. I fell asleep after London session. Oh, okay, fair enough. So basically, for the London session, then where buys could have been taken, you know, there was a couple of areas, but I think right over here was a good opportunity. So basically, this was the Asian session resistance, or this is resistance. So basically, we're out of the range at that point. And I think this candle was pretty good. Kelsey got in on these buys yesterday. I was with him, and I just said I wasn't gonna take it. I wanted to basically see a close, a bit slightly of a stronger close above that resistance, but it was like such a minuscule close. I just thought, you know what, probably just sit this one out and just watch it, and you know, that's it. So if we remove this level here, when this initial high was made, this was a solid support in terms of structure. You know, if we go to my data collection, I'll just show you my data collection for yesterday's trade. I marked out exactly where the two entries could have been taken, and basically, yeah, this is exactly where I would like to have taken that buy based on the closure, based on structure. So you had a solid, so if you think about it, this is like this situation here. If I was to draw it with arrows, is like this. So here's your range, right? There's your range, there's your support resistance. So basically what this happening here is we have this situation where we kind of like come to resistance, we try to come below, create support, head up, right, break out of the range, right, push up a little bit, pull back, do a retest, form support, and then continue the move. That's that situation right there. That's the volume session. So this was a solid move, and that candle was a great candle to buy. And then you had the next candle just going, you know, moving straight up. That moved like 30-40 pips or something like that. It was something crazy. I think that 130 minute moved around 25 pips. Yeah, it moved around 38 pips, 40 pips. So that's that setup there. This setup here, if we look at that in terms of a drawing, we look at that in terms of a drawing, so if we look at the, where was the other setup, sorry, where was it? I was over here, right? So if we look at this area here, this was the high that was made, right? So this drawing here would basically be this. So it would be, so let's say we have resistance, do we have a bit of a range here, break up, right, move up, pull back, form support, and go again. That's that extension basically, and that's that, you know, and then again pull back, form support, continue. That's that stage. That's when these are the points where you want to be getting into the market. Where is that? Right over here. Clearly see that push up to there, job done. Stops below there, and then as these candles are closing, you know, even in this situation here, you could have brought your stop loss below the current 30-minute candle and start pushing it up, you know, if you really wanted to be mitigating risk. But that's completely up to you. But yeah, I hope that helps. So if Salim or whatever has any further questions or anything, can ask. So right now, just kind of waiting. Gold is in a strange spot. Okay, does anyone else want us to look at anything else? Let's go back to GA. GA is trying to form some support over here. Let's take a look on the 5-minute. Yeah, we are creating like a support over here at this point. Yeah, probably want to see how this 15-minute candle closes. Could pull back a bit. But yeah, right now we are trying to create some support over here. So you have to see how, if you get a nice style rejection candle at this area again, would make sense to start looking for further upside at that point. So you have to see how we react here, because we're kind of like pulling back at this point. We might push back down to this area, but just have to see how we react. If you start to see candles coming below, then you're looking for either a big bullish candle, whatever. Plenty of opportunity there. Where did Kelsey go? Did he have to go? Hey Rod, morning. How's it going? Can you take a look at my US30 chart? Yes. Of course, mate. Oh, I missed another chart there. Sorry about that. Ken. Right, Ken. I'll take a look at yours. One sec. Let's do Ken's first then, quick. Right. Right, let's take a look at this chart. So this is GU 15 minute. So resistance in 30 minute and 15 minute. Okay, candle closed above. Yep. Entry as candle broke the high. Yeah, makes sense. Secured 50% at 10 pips. Stop loss move to break even. Runner stopped out. That's good. That's pretty good. I think GU kind of did the same thing as pound yen, and I think you could go and take a look maybe at like what happened over here. Maybe that would also make sense. But yeah, 100%. I think that was a good move. I think you could have caught potential buys like somewhere. Yeah, I mean, there was a 15 minute. True. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think you did well. The only one thing I would say is probably the where you could have got maybe better buys was somewhere like over here. Maybe the break of this high to move up and then extend off. We've got a better risk to reward perspective there. But I mean, for the most part, it could have worked out and could have continued. So yeah, 100%. That's a good trade. Nothing to really criticize apart from that. Good labeling. Pleased with that. Very good chart. Right, sorry, A-Rod, let's check yours out then, mate. Right. This is US 30, right? Okay, so what time frame? You're looking at the 4 hour, yeah? Bearish intraday structure, safer buys, break of previous highs, break of intraday bearish. Okay, safer sells. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think maybe you could have taken a look like on the smaller time frames, as you saw how this candle broke the structure or whatever, and then like somewhere over here like a support to form to initially push up. I think maybe you could have done your like smaller time frame, looking at the reaction points or whatever, and look to start taking buys to hold up to see if you can break further into these levels, break above those levels, try and get that like push up, because then it's at least gonna come to there because it's a key level, right? So it's gonna probably push up into this area here, and then it could start to reject to do create a further support. So I think maybe something like that. Let's take a look at US 30 for you, A-Rob, man. I'll do you a favor. Let's take a look. We've got nothing to do here, do we? Let's go to US 30. I'll take a look at the smaller time frames right now and see what's going on. So we've got pound yen pulling back, right? Let's go trading view, and let's go US 30, right? Okay, let's take a look at the 4 hour real quick. So where's the candle this? Is that, we're looking at the same one, yeah? Is it the same one? Which one are you looking at with? Oh, you're with the Wanda. Right, this is US 30. Right, we'll do US. Is it that one? Is that, yeah, that must be it. No, Wanda. Okay, so this is what you're looking at. Fine. Okay, yeah, so I think it's either going to be like you want to basically wait for like support above this area over here, or you're looking to try and get in somewhere over there. So let's see how maybe you could have. I think that 1 hour candle was pretty good in the Asian session. Looking on the 30 minute. Yeah, maybe that sort of like fake out situation, similar situation over here. So this was pre-Asian support. We came down and then we basically closed back above, and then you're looking to test these high levels over there. So let's take a look on the 15 minute. Yeah, maybe as you started to break above these this like resistance being created. So potentially, since you had like bearish market structure over here, and you can see making further resistance, we obviously reached a certain level, rejected, created a support, broke above, did some form of a retest, liquidity grab, whatever, created support in here to push up to retest that level there. I think that's pretty good, and then you can extend off. I think maybe that's something, but it's up to you. But I think right now, obviously, if you haven't taken a trade, yeah, maybe like a retest, like look for buys maybe above, over here, over there. Yeah, maybe it's coming back to this area to create some support. So I think it's going to be a lot better. But I'd say wait for like a structure to take a buy. But yeah, there you go. We wait for making support, right? I think that's the best option, yeah. when price makes a high, right? Look at pound yen right now. We're rejecting this area. You know, I know some people are going to be jumping up in sells or whatever, but I mean, yeah, it can make sense. You've got clean traffic if you're expecting a retracement, but you'd want to go break even fairly quick because the trend is not bearish. You know, from a structural point of view, you can see how we create resistance there, but yeah, you probably want to go break even fairly quick because these are points where we can start to have some problems, create support. So that's not the best situation to put yourself in. The best situation is to wait for a support to form. Right, Salim. Hey H, can you speak about the change of volume in the market with this year compared to last year? Yeah, I think maybe, you know, last year towards the end of the year there was a lot more like straight moves, you know, like we would just kind of like range, break out and go, whereas there's been a lot more, I think in 2021, I think there's been a lot more like I'd say it seems a bit more manipulation, because in a sense, like, you know, if you think about this, we rejected that area, you could say lack of volume, but you know, are we moving down to, you know, clearly a better support level for price to basically continue back up? You know, that's clearly what's happening here. You can see the rejection style candle there. So you know, effectively it's there to see. So I think the volume this year maybe it's been a lot more like I say, you know, push it down to go up, rather than last year there would be a range and usually there would just be a volume break, you know, and that way. And then what we tend to find last year as well, what might happen was there'd be a volume break, everyone would get in the impulses, and then we just come right back in the range. Not really been much of that. There's been situations like where you know, price makes a high, we pull back, we come to a support, everyone thinks price is going to break support because you get a candle closing below it, and then we do that and go with the trend. That's what's been happening, and that's how you can tell we're in a strong bullish uptrend, because situations like that happen all the time. Okay, no worries, A-Rod, no problem. But yeah, is that alright for answer for your question, Salim? Gold is back at support now. No worries, no worries. Hey, is your bias long? We're at a very strong level where we dropped at the start of the week. Yeah, I mean, I see it as this. I see it as simple as I know, yeah, GJ, right? Yeah. So I see it as this, right? This is resistance. We've broken out. This is price making a high. The best thing to do at this point is to wait for a support to form to retest the high. The thing is, if you look at this as a rejection area and you think, yeah, we are rejecting right now, we come here, we form a support and we head right back up, and then we start breaking further above because this is the current market structure trend, then it's going to be very, very difficult to you know, it's going to be very difficult to be in sales at that point. You know, that's kind of like calling a top basically, and I would not do that when price is making a high. You know, I agree with you that, you know, we've reached the key level 100%, but That's not to say that we might, come above it, and then I agree with you, it's a Friday, then we may end up closing below that level. That's what I agree with. However, that doesn't mean that we can't push above it. We've still got MY session volume, and if there's already bullish volume in the market, this could be the pullback for MY to continue that move. That's how you have to kind of look at volume sessions. Uncle Ted said gold was gonna dump MY session and break the... Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. If we take a look at the 4 hour, but it's a Friday though. I don't know if we're gonna do that today. 4 hour candle basically closed back in the range, so I think maybe it's gonna be like a Monday job. But once we actually get below 1722, then yeah, I mean we're coming down at that point. But it's finding an entry, isn't it? It's sometimes it's just a hell of a lot of volume. Okay guys, then we're gonna call it a day here soon on the stream. Any final questions, any charts want looking at? Have you looked at EU maybe moving up Euro USD? I don't look at Euro USD, but if you want me to look at Euro USD, I will. Euro USD. Yeah, it looks like Euro USD is trying to move bullish. It's going to come into some problems. It's got a previous level over there, so it could react over here. Okay. No problem. H, have you started trading with the Pacific broker yet? Would like some insight how things are going. No, not yet. I'm waiting for a reply back on something to do with that. Yeah. But they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They've been really good dealing with at the moment, so pleased about that. But yeah, no, I'm just waiting to see the potential deal that they can do for the broker. I basically, after you guys said about the promotion, I spoke to them about it, and they said that they're going to try and do a better one in April. So I was like, okay, I will wait to see what the better promotion is. So yeah, wait to see what that is. But yeah, they're a good broker, man. I mean, you know, I think through my affiliate you get a better deal anyway, but you know, I'm trying to see what they can do if I move over. But they are a good broker. I mean, I know Capital Hungary uses them. He's with Pacific Union, so they are a good well-known broker. So I won't worry about. Yeah, they are a good broker, 100%. I've heard of them for a while. The three main ones that I think are pretty good are Pacific Union, Vantage, and Blackball Market. Blackball Markets are good. I know them. I know them personally. Yeah, gold just needs to break below 126, 720, 730 at this point to continue moving down and fill these wicks, but we need a counter to close below the support, really. Pound yen just still waiting. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day here in a minute. That's strange. Said my said the stream was buffering, but now it's not. Right. What's going on, Leon? How's it going?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, good. Oh. So you had was it GU buys this morning, Leon?
Yes, mate. Don't usually trade GU, but I liked it, so I thought I'd take it.
Yeah.
One pip away from TP, and then hit break even.
Yeah. So what happened in the end? Did you give your trade a second chance? Let's take a look at GU for you.
No, I didn't.
Okay, let's take a look, because maybe it might have formed some support. Okay, yeah, so basically, see, this is what I was talking about. Obviously you wasn't here on the stream, but the same similar thing happened with GU. So basically, obviously, I know we were looking for buys, you know, above that area for GJ. Same with kind of GU. So right now it has created a support. 1 hour candle still closed above. 15 minute. See, the thing is about the 15 minute, this 15-minute candle's closed bearish, so that's going to be a bit of a problem to give the buyers a second chance. Yeah, it may come back to this area and then start to reject, but that's the 15-minute candle is a bit difficult at this point. So yeah, I think, but yeah, well, like I was saying was, with GJ, what we saw was basically we came down to, we basically made a high, we retraced, we came back to this previous level of support, and there was rejections there. So what I was saying was, getting a buy from this area would have made a much more sense, because then you could potentially basically retest the high at that point, and then expect volume to continue and leave runners, and that's where runners can run really, really well. So I think that was that. And then with GU, basically what looks like happened with GU is the 30-minute candle closed below. So this is where people are thinking, oh, it's going to continue down at this point, and then you see how this 30-minute just shot right back up. So looking on the 15-minute time frame, we basically reacted to the support and rejected the support. So maybe a good entry could have been, looking on the 5-minute, I think this candle was a pretty solid candle. Exact same similar setup to GJ. Made a low, created rejections here, made a higher level of support on the 5-minute. That's like your entry candle, stops below there or even below this whole zone, and then you just take it up to these highs. It should break through these minor resistances because it basically rejected the lower end of that area on the high time frames. So I think this basically would be the target.
Yeah, it's just not something I've got a lot of experience in, really. So something I want to see a bit
of
more,
course.
and
that's
confidence.
Yeah, that's it. So that's basically what you want to do is you want to start looking out for these situations, and then even if you jot it down, paper trade it is a good one. That's what I used to do. I used to just paper trade it. So I would, there's no emotion towards it. I just be like, okay, I see this happen a couple times now. Let's test this out. This is what I would do. I put stops there. This is where I would want to take profits, and you just watch the situation. Whether it will be you're taking buys somewhere over there, keeping stops there, and then you want to target the highs, or whatever it is your plan is. Just test it out, do that for maybe a month, and then if you can see it's profitable, then you start putting smaller lot sizes on it, and that's how you build towards making confidence.
Yeah, it's definitely something I want to start looking at.
Yeah, 100%.
See it happen.
Yeah, this happens. This happens a lot. No, because I don't trade GU, and with GJ. To be honest with you, I wasn't going to trade today on a Friday. But if this was any other day of the week, this happens. I mean, this happened, I think it was yesterday, somewhere. Yeah, it happened yesterday. So basically, we were trying to break below support, close back in the range. Could have potentially got buys on this like lower wick retest situation, and then look to retest the highs basically. And then from there, obviously, it did create support. But that's the more like this area here is the best place to be getting in. But yeah, if this was another day, like next week, if this happens, I'm getting it. You know what I mean? I'll be in that trade.
Yeah, so at the moment I just trade breakout.
Yeah, that's still fine. Breakouts are going to work, but the thing with breakouts is sometimes you're gonna have to wait for support, because what may happen is like situations maybe like this, like where basically price is coming up above that area, and then it basically pulls back because there's lack of volume. So, but yeah, I think breakouts are still good though.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me, like, 'cause I'm driving.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No, it's all good. So that's fine. I just thought I'd because I hadn't spoke to you yet, so I thought I'd give you a bit of insight.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You drive carefully and take care. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, cool. Right, I think, guys, we're going to finish off for today. I think pound yen at the moment, you can clearly see, is basically creating support over here. Not much confirmation. You just got one basically strong 5-minute bullish candle. At that point, it should start pushing up into this, area, but that's not going to be the best situation at the moment. You're going to have to wait a little bit over here. It may even need to be, a break above this area at this point, based on the rejection wicks. Solid support formed above there will probably give some options for this range, but I think you need to see a solid support formed above that area, because it's like a 30 pip range at that point. Yeah, see this situation here, not sure. Could continue, but probably want to see a break above this area, these rejection wicks, to continue with volume. HFX, what founded broker do you recommend? Well, my current recommended broker right now is Pacific Union. So yeah, if you want to check out the bio, there's a link there. Go straight to them. That's up to you. But yeah, that's who I would recommend personally. Gonna move over to that there soon. Right, right. That's it, guys. We're gonna call it a day. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming onto the stream. And yeah, we'll be back Monday. I think next week's gonna be a much better week than this week. This week, yeah, it's been pretty tough, to be fair. A lot of the good moves have been happened kind of basically. Thursday was a good day, and the rest of the other days were a little bit difficult, but it's all good because we come back better the next week. You just got to keep working to get better, and that's what you got to do. I've been spending some time reviewing this week, and and the previous weeks, and that's why I've started looking into where's the most best places to be in the trade, and that's where you start to realize situations, and that's it. So cool. Right, thanks guys, really appreciate it. We'll see you on Monday. Drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed today's stream. Appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thanks,
Thanks, Dan.
What's that, mate?
Cheers, mate. Have a good weekend.
Oh, thanks, mate. Have a good weekend. Yeah, see you later.
Mate, have a good weekend. Yeah.
Right, see you, mate. Right, Salim, thanks. Yeah, you have a nice weekend as well, mate. I'll see you soon. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you, mate. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And review, guys. Take a review of this week. Go review any bad decisions you've made, any good decisions you've made as well. What went well. Focus on positives as well as what didn't potentially go well. So yeah, alright guys, see you Monday. We'll be back Monday morning.